Welcome to Moessieurs for this new video. Today we're going to cover a topic that interests a lot of users. It's about the AD input. In this video, whether you're using the MODX M or the Montage M, I'll explain how to connect a microphone, a guitar, a bass, a synthesizer, a drum machine, or an audio player to the AD input sockets, along with all the basic settings needed to make it work properly. Before we start, please click on the thumbs up if you like the video content, and click on the boost button to highlight this video in YouTube suggestions. The first question users often ask is, what kind of cable do I need to connect on the AD input sockets? On the back, it's the same for a MODX M, or the Montage M. That's unbalanced inputs. So you need an unbalanced cable. It is commonly called mono. That one with just a single black ring. If there are two black rings, it's commonly called stereo. It's a balanced cable. And that won't work, because it causes electrical buzz and noises. Let's focus mainly on the microphone, because I'm neither a guitarist nor a bassist, and it works in the same way. What kind of microphone do you need? You need a dynamic microphone, a microphone that doesn't require what's called a phantom power. I'm lucky with the band, we are using this Lewitt microphone. I'm not Lewitt sponsoring. These microphones have the advantage that, when you unscrew the capsule, there's a switch that lets you switch between dynamic or condenser mode. If you have a condenser microphone that you really like, you can use it, but you'll need to use a phantom power, and with that kind of box, you can connect your static condenser microphone to the AD input. Let's go to utility, because it will be different depending on whether you want to connect a microphone, a guitar, a bass, versus a keyboard, a drum machine, or an audio player. AD input mean analog or digital input. Let's go now to settings. Then audio I/O, for input, output. If you have a guitar, a bass, or a microphone, you choose the mic setting. If you're using a keyboard, a drum machine, or an audio player, you choose the line setting. I'll switch back to mic for that video. That's the first setting you need to check. Next, to activate the AD input, you need to press that button to set it on, and you need to adjust the gain level by this knob. That's the input level. It's the same as on a mixing console. You have the input level, the gain, and then you have the fader that controls the output volume. If you have a Montage M, you have a little LED that lights up blue when there's a signal, and lights up red if you're too hot. If you apply too much gain, it causes crackling or distortion. It's not going to sound good. If you have a MODX M, you don't have that little LED. I'll explain in a few minutes how you can visualize the relationship between the gain, your input level, and output volume. No need to go into the menus to adjust the output volume. Click here, and you'll be able to adjust the output volume with that fader. You heard my stage microphone. Of course, there are some basic settings where you'll have to go into the screens to fine-tune settings. Let's see how to do that. As a reminder, you have a built-in GPS. This is the navigation button. I'm at the performance common level. By the way, you can see the audio in signal path here. The AD input that go through the effects. You see that there are view meters here. Let's see them in largest view. There you go, you can see them. Here's the AD input. And here, I have the main screen. You saw what was coming in, but I did not set an output volume, because the mic I'm using to explain the video isn't connected to the MODX M at all. On this screen, there are two horizontal lines rows. The first one is AD input, what you've connected to the back sockets. The second is digital in. Digital in, to explain in simply way, goes through USB to host port. It can come from my Cubase 15 Pro or Camelot Pro as example. You can send it to this input, that's why it's called AD, for analog or digital. You can use insertion effects. I'll talk about that in another video, dedicated to that topic. The first super important setting is right here. If you connect a microphone, a guitar, or a bass, you're in mono connection. By default, it is set to stereo. Set it to left mono if you're connected to the left input, or right if you're connected to the right. In general way for mono input, you connect and set it to the left. And this is where I can answer to some questions I see regularly. It's about to connect a microphone and a guitar at the same time. You can just select this input type, L+R mono. The only thing to keep in mind is that you won't have separate controls for the mic and guitar. Both will have the same gain and the same output volume. You'll need to manage and balance this, as example between the guitarist and the singer at the same time, what the singer is doing front the microphone, and the guitar level as well. I switch back to left mono, that's how I'm connected. For the volume, you see the fader directly controls it. For now, I'll leave it to 0, so it doesn't interfere with the video recording microphone. You can adjust the left-right panning if you want. The dry level is the overall output of the two system effects, variation and reverb. You have a send value for variation and for reverb, like you can find for performance parts. You can pass your mic signal through the variation effect or the reverb effect. There's something you really need to keep in mind. For each performance, you'll often apply a different reverb. It will depend on your song style, the sound type you're using. You'll have a different reverb from one performance to another. For the variation effect, you might use a chorus on one performance. On another, you might use a delay. That's going to change things, and I'll cover that in another video, otherwise this one would be too long. Let's hear what it sounds like when you run a microphone through the effects. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when I release a new video. If you need some guidance on getting started, or if you want to deepen your knowledge of using your Yamaha synthesizer or stage keyboard, you can ask me for a Moessieurs masterclass. It's online through Zoom. What I'm offering isn't just features explanation, it's also a working way to optimize your instrument using, complete with all the tips I use, both on stage and in the studio. You'll find all the contact information in the video description. Here, I'm not using any effects. And now, there's reverb. I'm using a chorus effect type. Of course, I can have both. The stage mic sound can be quite different between the mic I have in front of me for the video recording, which is a Lewitt condenser static microphone, and which is set up with great EQ adjustments. That's the normal way to work with compression too, and an expander. All of that makes a huge difference, and you'll also see that with the insertion effects, you can apply them to manage our sound quality. On stage, my Lewitt hand mics are plugged into the Yamaha TF1, and we get a different sound than that one once we've gone through all the basic sound system settings. Another question I've seen come up regularly is, if I want to record into my sequencer software, can I have my instruments recorded on a dedicated stereo bus and the mic on another? Yes, of course, you manage this here. By the way, here we have a little surprise, because it's a MODX M, and you can see assignable outputs. That works out well for that video, because for those who have the Montage M, if you want to send your mic to an assignable output, specifically to isolate it, and apply specific settings on your mixer, you'll be able to choose that output, for example, assignable left if you need. One other important setting is this one, the off. If as keyboardist in a band, you're doing backing vocals, you don't necessarily do them all the time. It depends on the song. There might be songs where you'll want to be able to choose to have the mic turned off. That way, you can be sure it doesn't bleed into the PA system. It's also important for vocoder using, or can be used for envelope follower too. On the MODX M, you can choose to send it to a mono USB bus. You can see that I can send to all these bus numbers. And again, on the MODX M, we don't have all that. We only have all of them on the Montage M synthesizer. This isn't a new OS version I have. It's the basic version just like yours, all the buses are there in the view. Notice that when you switch to the USB buses, like on the Montage M, if you switch to the assignable buses, it's the same thing. You no longer go through the system effects. That's why it works out well for me for that video topic. As you can see, it's no longer gone through the system effects because it switched to assignable or USB bus port. When I switch to main, boom, it comes back. MODX M have 5 stereo buses, or the main LR output bus, plus 8 mono buses. To wrap up this video, I told you that I have ways to take a quick look at what's going on, particularly for MODX M users, to try to balance the input gain and output volume, to do not have distorted sound. Let's go back to the performance level. The first screen where you can see this is in mixing. Here, you have a level with view meter. You'll be able to see what's happening. It's a little small. If you think it's a bit hard to see, I have something else for you. Let's go to Play Rec, then to Audio. Try to compare the visual display, what's happening here, with the output volume you have. Of course, it's your ears that will tell you if you're starting to clip, and if so, you'll need to turn the gain and/or the volume down. And if you really want to take it to another level, let's go to the Performance Common section. Go to Edit, and then to Effects. Here, I'm showing you the path to explain where it is. Let's take a look at the envelope follower, which is right here. Be careful not to get confused. There is an input level, but it's not the AD input gain level, it's the envelope follower's input level. It's the mic signal, which has gone through the gain, which has gone through the output, then goes into the envelope follower. This also lets us see the level here. If you don't remember the path to go to the envelope follower, go to Navigation, go to the Master EQ, and then go to Routing here, and you'll find the envelope follower slot right here. That wraps up this video. We've gone over the basic settings, the cables, microphone types, and especially the microphone section where you need to set the right parameters and adjustments to done. In an upcoming video, I will cover effects management, which is very important for a microphone. See you very soon for a new Moessieurs video. Stay tuned on the channel. That's video ending. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found the content interesting. Feel free to click on like, and I also invite you to click on the boost button to highlight this video in YouTube suggestions. As official Yamaha expert and specialist, if you want to learn more quickly how to use or take in hand your Montage M, MODX M, ESP, Camelot Pro, or any of the Yamaha synthesizers and stage keyboards that I use, or also Cubase MIDI and audio recording with them, you can request an online masterclass with me. You choose your session topic, and you can download your session video to watch it as many times as you need. If you are a Moessieurs YouTube community member, you will get 15 minutes extra time for each session. How to become a member? Just sign up on YouTube. It's a monthly subscription of €3, and you'll get more than just the 15 minutes extra time. You'll get to see all my videos in preview, without ads, almost 1 month in advance, as well as my private videos without ads too. Don't hesitate to join the Moessieurs YouTube community. See you soon for a new Moessieurs video.